Here she go with the earthy shit.
It just makes me feel better. Once I know what's going on in the cosmos, I don't feel so crazy by myself. And Mercury retrograde is coming tomorrow.
When is it not in Gatorade?
Retrograde.
I just need to know that too. When is it never not in?
I want to say Mercury goes into retrograde 3 to 4 times a year. So think of it like on a quarterly basis. And it's just to prepare you. Retrogrades are literally just to prepare you to look back and reflect and revise and replenish before you go forward. That's literally the universe telling you, take space to recalibrate.
So always take space because it's always in retrograde.
Wow, would you look at that?
It's never not in retrograde. And I just feel like everyone's always blaming things on, oh, you know, Mercury's in retrograde. I just got into an accident, girl. Well, you know, Mercury's in retrograde, right?
Because things happen. So you have to proceed
things
with caution.
Always happen, though.
Exactly. So sometimes, you know, because it'll be retrograde. But Mercury in retrograde, Mercury is the planet ruler of, like, communication. So your car accident probably don't have nothing to do with Mercury retrograde.
Your man's acting up. Well, you know, Mercury, it's in retrograde.
Well, what is your man acting up about?
These niggas always act up. So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter.
And that's not
niggas
true.
are never not gonna nig. It doesn't matter. It could be in retrograde. It could be in Gatorade. It could be in who. Never. They're never not gonna act up.
So let's revisit this niggas thing again.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say niggas this time on this episode, who are you talking about?
I mean, typically it is in general.
But I'm talking about today.
I'm still talking about men.
So I'm not defending anyone, but as someone who deals with all spectrums of humans that are all genders.
Exactly. I can only speak to my knowledge.
Exactly. So like when you say niggas or when y'all hear me say niggas, I'm talking about everybody and their mama being ignorant.
And like, and me too. I typically do. I typically use that for a general,
yes,
you know, blanket of just people.
Mm-hmm. But still.
But for the most part, I mean men.
And the thing about it is, I don't know. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, yesterday, and we were talking about men specifically. Mm-hmm. And it was just, she was saying that she has like no expectations of men. Like
it's sad.
And I was like, that is so sad. And I had told her, I was like, you've actually said that for a very long time, for the majority of the time that I've known you.
I have expectations. They're probably just not too high. But I think that's just overall. Like I don't like to get my expectations up for anybody because then that's like that whatever quote that is, that's like how you end up with heartbreak, is having too high of expectations of people.
Correct. But what I think is interesting about expectations, and I've been like really reflecting on this lately because the way with all the things happening, I'm like really triggered by so many things, and I'm like, oh, like let me reevaluate this. Why am I really upset, or why am I bothered? I think as human beings, it's very easy for us to put expectations on people, and people not know that we have this expectation of them. And so when I hear like frustrations with men, especially from women, I really, you know me, I'm always pushing back, right? Because I'm like, yo, where is that coming from? Like both ends, there's cause and effect. It takes two to tango. Like, so to constantly like, men, like it's yo, and I have so many men in my life, like,
me too.
You know what I mean?
And they ain't shit.
And they're not like, we're all not shit though. Like,
that's true.
We're really not. And so it's just like, I cannot just single them out because I be doing the same shit. Like, and it was funny.
No, you're right.
And it was funny the other day, there was I saw a meme and I had posted it, and it said the numbers that aren't saved got the most feelings, and that really hit me. Like
I have to save numbers though,
and the thing
because my memory is trash.
But the reason I bring that up is that stuff like that, people would read that, or most women would read that and be like, yeah, that's what niggas do. No, as a woman, I will own my, yes, it's not just niggas. The thing about it is, it's so easy to blame niggas.
Niggas never save numbers.
Yes, but it's also also easy to sit there and be scapegoat niggas. That's what women do, is scapegoat niggas. And it's easy because we do the same thing, we just don't get caught.
All right. So what's your point?
Don't do that. Don't be gaslighting niggas. Don't do it. And I'm not defending anybody, but I'm just saying,
it sounds like you're defending.
No, there's both sides of the coin.
No, you're
and
right,
you know I'm
right,
not loyal to anything or anybody
jokes.
but the truth.
These are just jokes.
Yes, but you know, there's truth behind every joke. That's why I'd be like, don't play like that.
There is truth behind every joke.
Yes.
And there's truth behind that.
But on the other hand, I also will say to that point, right? Like, the bar is really low.
The bar's on the floor.
The bar is on the floor. Mm-hmm. So when it does come to men, women, whoever that I'm interacting with, like, I've said it before, I don't congratulate fish for swimming.
Facts.
So like, yo, you know, a good morning text, or, you know, whatever these...
He's out here taking care of his kids.
Like, what? You're supposed to. That doesn't make you any more attractive.
No.
Oh, I'm supposed to give you a pat on the back because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So there's the other side of that too. So which is why I can understand like the frustration that women have with men, but we also have to be cognizant about what it is that we allow. Because if somebody's ghosting you for saying, oh, you know, I was working, you know, the past 48 hours. Well, guess what? For the past 48 hours, I've had my period. I've been working 24/7 too. So what are we talking about?
This is true.
So it's like, what are you going to allow? Because we often, and just as people in general, we tend to put people up on pedestals that are, and those people are
especially people that you don't even know.
Exactly.
Like celebrities.
But because, or we like them or whatever, and it's like they're actually dealing with the same exact shit that you're dealing with. It just might look different, but the shit is the same. Don't let nobody play you and make it seem like they're doing the most, more than what you got going on.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But yeah, I digress.
I'm sorry. I've literally, this is basically our Pepper Soup, not this banter, but like going into it, is that yesterday my final lash came off.
Oh,
on
I
the
just
other
realized
side.
all your lashes are gone.
And so now I'm back to being a basic bitch, and it's just, and that was my first time getting lashes, and honestly, now it's like, it's gonna be really hard to not add this to my art, like nails, waxing, hair. Now I have to add lashes because I feel like a basic bitch again. And I'm bald again.
I will tell you, your lashes were really cute.
They were popping.
They were really cute, but you are beautiful without them.
Thank you. I mean,
and you know how I feel about nudity. So your face is, it's okay for your face to be naked.
Yeah, but it just always made my face look beat. And I can't do makeup.
Oh, so then you're like, this is
like,
one less thing I have to do.
Exactly.
But your eyeshadow be really cute though when you do it.
Yeah, and I barely do it because it's just, it's so hard being a bad bitch. It's not for everybody. Honestly, if everybody could be a bad bitch, like, if it was easy, everyone would be a bad bitch. It's not easy. It's hard.
So let's get into it, right? And you know I'm laughing because we had this conversation earlier in the year, especially with the struggle of Corona.
Yo, having to do my own nails, the ghetto.
And you know I do all of that.
No.
I'll do my own hair. Corona?
I didn't do my hair, my nails. I only did them because I cracked my nail bed and it was so painful. I had to figure out how to get them like, and these are like my real nails.
Right.
So I had to figure out how to get the dip off of it. It was not an easy task. I don't know how, like like thank God we have locks, the lace fronts and shit. How do these bitches do it? How? It's so hard.
There's YouTube videos for everything, girl.
Yes, but still, it's so hard. It's so hard. Like
what's
costly.
But what's hard about it for you? Like, because you know, I just be like, oh, I'm just doing my hair.
My arms get tired.
What else? Go ahead.
Yo, when that time that I attempted to wash my own hair when my hair was much longer than this.
How long ago was this? This is why I've like turned.
Now I could probably do it, right? Now I could probably do it because it's a lot shorter. But I was sweating in the shower, okay? That's not supposed to happen. I almost died.
You're a pest.
I almost died. I had to call Shanita like, look, I'm never doing this again. I don't know why you let me do this.
You know hairdressers are human. Hairstylists are human too, right? So
yeah, but that's her profession. That's not my profession. That's not my profession. Yo, it's so hard being a bad bitch.
So would you say you're not a bad bitch?
I am, but not in the sense of like IG model status, like the lashes, the beat face, the lace fronts that are laid to the gods. That's not me.
But
it's very hard.
But IG models, do they do it, or does somebody else facilitate it for them?
Yeah, but I'm not on that status to have somebody facilitate that shit for me either.
So I'm asking you though, do they do it? I'm asking.
Some of them do.
Right. And I feel like the ones that do it, like that, those are the ones who are bad bitches. Like Meg Thee Stallion does her own makeup and stuff.
So she says.
Right. And
I've never actually seen her do her own makeup.
Come on, like who are we? And
I'm not saying that I love Megan.
Right. I'm just saying. Yes, exactly. But like, I can sit here and say I do my own hair. Not everybody sees me, but I'm not lying about it. You know what I mean? Like, so it just is what it is. Like, but I just feel like my whole point is, especially because this came up in Corona for us, right? Mm-hmm. Like this whole bad bitch concept and things of that nature. And one of the things that I personally realized was, and I've never viewed myself as a bad bitch.
Me neither. But I just mean in the sense of like, you know, what the, but I've never like been like, I'm a bad bitch. No, I've
never been that way either. But now on the other hand, after Corona, I was like, oh, I'm a bad bitch because I did all this shit myself. I didn't miss a beat. My hair
I was looking raggedy.
My hair was laid. My nails were always done. Like, there just wasn't a problem. For me, I go get my nails and my hair done. And what else do I do? Because I don't wear makeup. Because it's a convenience. For me, that's relaxation.
Yes, same. Doing my nails and my hair is relaxation, and it's just a bonus that it looks good.
Right.
But then it's like waxing, but your nails also, like when they don't look good, you don't really feel good.
Yes,
Then like when your hair is not always done, you don't really feel good. Now I gotta add lashes to this bitch. Those were not cheap.
They weren't, but you know, if Corona hits and you know, just rack up and then you can put the ones from the drugstore.
It's different.
Eyes, you know?
It's different because I've done those before many times. I've never put them on myself personally because it's a lot harder than it looks. Like truthfully, I don't know how y'all do it. It's like I always look like I had a filter on. I was just talking about that with Tara the other day. Filters have fucked up the way we look at ourselves.
Have they? Because I feel like but let's be clear, it's been before filters. Like number one, the standard of beauty is Eurocentric. Granted,
yes, but I feel like filters only made it worse. Because when you first open your Snapchat camera, you're like, whew. And then when you throw a filter on, you're like, okay. And then when you take it off, you're like, whew. Like it's distorting your image of what you really look like.
That's what I'm saying. And so it even causes me to wonder, and I know there's like documentaries and stuff, but I'm not gonna watch it.
I just watched one, social media something on Netflix.
Because I'm like, why was, so you can tell me, right? Like, why, I just don't understand what the purpose of it all was. Like, I don't believe that that's how those things started, right? To get people to alter their appearance. Like, that was the purpose of the filter? Like, what was the purpose of the filter?
They didn't really go into the purpose of the filter, but I feel like the way they constructed social media to keep people hooked, essentially, has something to do with that.
Okay.
Now, people are vain.
Yeah.
Vanity is a thing. And so when you throw filters into the mix, then it's like more likes and you know what I'm saying, like more
and I get it, but I'm just like, but when somebody sees you in real life, that's why I'm always confused, because
there's a lot of confusion out here. Yeah. People don't really look how they look anymore in real life. And one of the things that they said was the algorithm of Instagram specifically. I don't know if they've kind of caught on to other social medias, but the algorithm, it used to be in a time sequence. Like, it used to go from like the most recent post to like the latest post.
Correct.
Now it's random.
Right.
And when you pull down on your timeline
to refresh it,
that's almost like in a sense of like a gambler, slot machines. You're pulling it down. You don't know what order it's gonna be in. And it's random, so you're like, I can't miss anything, so you're always scrolling. That's how they got you hooked. by change. Like, people were pissed at the algorithm change. They're like, why would they change? That's why they changed it.
Huh. That's why you be seeing posts from like 2 days ago, but like 2 days ago you were there, it wasn't. That makes sense. And I will tell you, it's interesting because right now I have a whole new appreciation for social media. And 2 seasons ago you could barely get me to touch it.
Yep. And now look at you.
And it's because I'm having a lot of fun. I'm also very isolated these days in terms of just like work. Like, I feel like I'm so grateful for my birthday. Thank you again. But I realized like, oh shoot, it was my birthday. School started back up again. Work started back up again. And I'm like, and I moved, and I'm like, this is wild. I have all these transitions at the same time. So I have not been able to like keep up with my phone or anything like that. And
that's good, because there are some people, it's like crack. They cannot put it down.
Yeah, no, I can't keep up with it. And I put it on Instagram. I'm going to say it here on this podcast. Thank you, everybody, for the messages and everything for my birthday, because I still haven't been able to respond to all of them. And I even had to ask Kayo, like, my birthday's never been public before. Like, what do I do with all these messages? I feel so much guilt. I can't respond. And she was like, you just send out a general thank you. And
that's what I always do.
And you leave it alone. And I was like, okay, but it gave me a lot of anxiety.
Because it's too much.
It gave me a lot of anxiety. But honestly, I have fun going on IG and finding all these memes.
Yeah, I know. And that's literally all you post on your story.
That's all. It's so much fun because
you're one of those.
I'll have so much pent up energy, anxiety, and things of that nature that like I'm dealing with, right, from just doing a bunch of different things that I'm super happy to be doing and super grateful, everything that I've asked for. But it's a lot happening at the same time. And I go on Instagram and I'm like, oh, this timeline is a mess, but that's not what I'm here for. And I go and find my memes. It's wonderful. So I love the algorithm.
Yeah, but again, it's
like what is it there for?
Yeah, and the images that are being thrown at you day to day of bad bitches,
and
what it's supposed to be.
And so even that, what is supposed to be, right? Because my timeline, and I'm sure people see this, and I've never acknowledged this before publicly, but I'll do it now. I don't follow people back. If you follow me, 9 times out of 10, I'm not following you. Number one, if you're in my personal circle, I don't need to follow you. Why? Because
on Instagram?
On Instagram.
You follow all of us?
Because y'all would slaughter me.
Yeah.
But, exactly. But like,
who do you think you are?
Right. Y'all would, nobody, if you're going to bring me smoke, fine. Like, I'll deal with it if that's what you need in your life, so you know that you're loved and embraced. But like, most people, especially like people that I'll meet through networking or something like that, like, 9 times out of 10, I'm not following you back. Yeah. Because I need to see my timeline. What I absorb is very, very important. Yeah, all of that is energy. All of that is an energy exchange. Like, I don't want to see what you ate for breakfast in the morning. I don't want to see your kid. I don't want to see any of that. Like, and it's not.
No, you're right. Yeah. I don't instantly follow people back.
And it's no shade, because guess what? Even though I don't follow you, I bet you I know your Instagram handle, and then I can go remember we were talking to shit today.
You're a stalker? Yeah.
Yes, I'm always watching and observing. Like, I'm thinking about you. Send it, like, that's how I send out good energy. But like, you don't need to be on my timeline for that.
Yeah, I don't always follow people back either.
Yeah,
especially like our episode about Stockiana. Like, I have no idea who sent you. Like, who are you? Like, and then I always find it like interesting when men follow me and I'll go to the page and they have like a whole family and I'm like, why did you follow me? What was the purpose of you following?
Because you're a bad bitch.
But
so that's the thing, right? And you fault just because you got a family? He's not blind.
Okay, I just feel like I don't know, and like my page will be my page is public right now, right? But like you going through and literally liking every single photo I have from like.
It's there to be liked, though.
And
that's the thing, like,
I don't like it.
Right. But you also don't like it enough to take it down and stop using it.
No. I'm saying I don't like the vibes from
the guys.
From that particular said guy who like you have a whole like situation going. What's your purpose here? So I'm always thinking like, even when I get random girl followers, I'm like, who sent you? What's the purpose here?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm not always quick to just throw out a follow either.
Right. I think and again, for me, I always wonder, like, I wonder how they got here.
Exactly. Who sent you?
But I'm like, oh, welcome. Because you chose, you're here, welcome, and when you're gone, you can do that too. But like, I just don't have enough stock or investment into it because and that's another thing. And I've been reflecting on that, and you really pushed me in this direction where it's like, yo, Instagram, the social media, all that, it's really not it, even though that's how it's presented, right? Where, like, when we started this podcast, you know, I'm like, we have to post on this day, and it needs to be consistent, and we have to keep putting out content. It's a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. And I think that also makes you a bad bitch when you're not stuck.
When you don't care.
When you're not stuck, when you're not committed, like, when nothing is running you because you already know, like, what you have to bring to the table. Well, it's not external.
No, yeah. I mean in terms of like external of everything that women have to do, or not have to do, but like do in their day to day,
or that we're dictated to do.
Yes, of like being snatched and your snapback, and I just had a baby and my stomach's already flat.
That shit is unreal. And that shit is unhealthy.
You know what I mean? It's like it's a lot of pressure that gets put on people, and it's expensive as fuck. Do you know how expensive that shit is? Being a woman is expensive.
Which is also why I like to do things myself.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Because like that whole situation, like during Corona, and like I realized a lot of women that I follow, y'all are sociopaths. Who can wax themselves? Mm-hmm. You have to be a top tier psychopath to wax yourself.
I just trimmed. And it was great.
I'm talking about like putting actual hot scalding wax on yourself and ripping like, how do you do it to yourself?
But you have the strips, it's self-adhesive. You're being really dramatic because nobody puts hot scalding wax on their vagina.
Wax is hot.
It's not hot, it's warm. Stop it. Stop.
The fact that you can do it to yourself is psychotic.
Why? It's like you put a Band-Aid on yourself. A Band-Aid is self-adhesive. It's the same
I'm not going to inflict pain on myself.
But you'll allow somebody to inflict pain on you. What's the difference?
It's their job. And at least it's like people that are cutters. Like, how can you?
Wow.
No,
wow.
I don't mean like in that sense. I just mean in the sense of like being able to like inflict pain on yourself.
Oh, well.
Like, shouldn't you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, you should love yourself so much that you wouldn't want to cause harm or physical pain to yourself.
It's a control thing. That has nothing to do with physical anything. That is all psychological.
Understandable.
And like control stuff.
Understandable.
Yes.
But I'm saying I can't psych myself up to rip.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I get it. And it's so funny you bring this up because I told you before I picked you up, I was coming from Wellesley. I was coming from my electrolysis appointment. Electrolysis is the only FDA approved form of hair removal, and I've told y'all before, I have PCOS. I have like a full beard, and so
you're so annoying.
And I know you think I'm annoying and I'm dramatic, and you're always like, you can't even see it. It's there. I touch it. I stroke the whiskers. It's there. And so that being said, every 3 weeks, for what? I want to say I started electrolysis maybe 4 or 5 years ago. No, actually I'm lying. 2018. So three years ago. I don't do math. Whatever. We're in 2020. 2 years ago. They take a needle. They take like an acupuncture needle.
But could you do that to yourself?
Yes.
You're insane.
Because even right now, so with electrolysis, it's an electric shock. And they're burning your hair follicles so that the hair doesn't grow back.
Yes.
And so that being said, usually it's electricity. So you're voluntarily being electrocuted. And so that being said, they usually have a numbing agent that you put like lidocaine so you don't feel it. I don't wear it. I just take it and I squeeze a ball.
Yeah,
it's mind over matter.
Understandable. Like, I've gotten tattoos, piercings, waxing. I'm not saying I don't have like a high threshold for pain. I'm not inflicting it on myself is what I'm saying. I can't do it.
But then it's like, then do you really require it? Yes. If you're not willing to do it for yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna just wait.
But then you're gonna be really miserable. Because you be sad when you're not cute. You be dead ass sad,
I was sad, but hey, I got through it.
But it's like the sadness isn't enough for you to do it for yourself to make you feel better.
Inflict pain on myself.
So you can get out of the pain that you're already in?
No.
Okay.
In terms of inflicting pain on myself? No.
So that you can get out of the pain that you're already in?
It's not.
It's not worth it?
Nah.
Okay.
But anyways, I feel like we could go on about bad bitches for literally the entire show. And we're on a time limit because it's late and I'm tired. So, I want to get into Excuse Me, Miss Fufu.
Yes, it's back. It's been a while. Y'all keep writing in with all the shits. It's gonna be very interesting to answer and listen to these questions visually, because just don't judge my facial expressions. And if you do,
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And if you do judge them, well,
I forgot about that.
That's the consequence of what you wrote us. So here we are.
And we have quite a few in the inbox from like our hiatus.
Okay.
But this one kind of stood out to me. Basically, it's a girl who got newly engaged. Congratulations. But she hates her engagement ring. And she doesn't know how to, or if she should tell her man that she hates it, or just shut up and be appreciative of the fact that he bought her a ring. I honestly am torn on this question.
You start.
I'm torn because I've had this conversation of like, okay, it's a gift, like, this person didn't have to get it for you, and like, they were thinking of you, but at the same time, it's like you want something that you're going to like. I had an ex who never got me good gifts, like in our time together.
You talking about who I think you're talking about?
White diamonds.
Yep. White diamonds also, if y'all don't know, it is a perfume that is found in the drugstore, and is it by Elizabeth Taylor?
It's by Elizabeth Taylor.
And it's an old lady ass perfume. Shout out to the old ladies.
Literally from the 70s and 80s.
So
and every time I tell the story, I'm triggered all over again. So let's not even go down there. But it's like, you don't want, it's so hard. It's so hard. Like, you get a gift that you hate, and then it's like, do you say something or do you just shut up and take the gift? But this is a different type of gift. This is a gift that I have to look at for the rest of my life on my finger, and I'm not a fan of it. But at the same time, it's like, my advice is just talk to her best friend. Talk to her best friend before you buy anything.
I think that's...
Don't go in blindly.
I think that is an easy way out. And I think
talking to your best friend?
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Don't. So to answer the question, right? I think a conversation needs to be had.
You always want to have a conversation.
Because communication is key. Like, let's be clear. What we're talking about, this gift, is also a signing bonus saying, hey, I'm committed to spending the rest of my life with you. I'm sorry. Not sorry. The ring is pretty insignificant to me, personally. Mm-hmm. Personally, I'm not interested in an engagement ring. I want a wedding band. But I could care less about an engagement ring. And so I want to say that is where my bias lies, and that is where I think this is insignificant, because the big picture is, like, if the ring is a problem right now and you can't communicate about that, and you can't communicate about your dislike for it, even though it is uncomfortable, why are you choosing to spend the rest of your life with this person? Because then what other difficult conversations are you not going to be able to have?
You make a good point. But I just feel like it's easier said than done. It's going to be a difficult conversation because it's like, on one end, you want to feel like appreciative, and in this moment of like, oh my God, we're choosing to spend the rest of our lives together.
Right.
It's like a big moment, right? But then you look down at your finger and you're like embarrassed to show other people.
So why are you embarrassed? Because that person isn't embarrassed. So what is it in you, and why is it that person's problem? You're the one who's embarrassed.
Or
that
not embarrassed,
not
but like
embarrassed.
Not embarrassed, but like you yourself don't like the ring. It's not your style. It's not something you would wear.
So then, are you open to go and buy your own ring? Like you said, it's a gift, and you can't dictate.
But then but it's either way, someone's feelings are gonna get hurt. That's why I feel like it's a hard because you go out and buy your own ring, and then he's like, "Yo, what about the ring?"
That's relationships. Your feelings are going to get hurt. You're choosing to decide, like, yo, even though there's a risk of my feelings getting hurt, I know that this person's not gonna hurt me maliciously. So I'm going to choose to spend the rest of my life with this person. If you give me a fucked up gift and I tell you I don't like it, like, you have to, because for me, I'm just thinking then there's no safety for that person to come and have a difficult conversation with you. Again, this has nothing to do with the ring. The ring is a symbol for a much bigger problem.
I don't know.
And it's uncomfortable. That's why I think it's easy to say, oh, I don't know, and scapegoat the ring. This is not about that ring. There's clearly an issue with communication. Why is it that you do not feel comfortable talking about this person, and you stated earlier, now I have to. No, you don't have to do shit. You feel like you have to do it because you don't want to have the conversation. All of that is self-inflicted. That person is not telling you, yo, here, take this ring. They asked you a question and you lied and said yes. That's on you.
But she was saying yes to the marriage, not yes to the ring.
Okay, so say yes to the marriage and talk about the ring after, if the marriage is what you want. I think even like, this is a good example, this ring. People even do this with relationships. Oh, I want a man, I want a girl, I want this, I want that, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes time to do the work for the thing that you said you wanted, oh, now it's too hard. Oh, why this shit gotta be so difficult? Oh, it's not how I imagined. Because you didn't plan to do the work for it.
Weren't we just talking about that when we were watching Married at First Sight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. How like, people want the rings. They just say
like, oh, I want a husband. Exactly. But you don't want to put in the work.
You don't want to put in this work.
No, you're right.
And these are all roles. These titles, that's why people be so quick like, oh, what's the relationship status? Is that your girl? Is that your man? My man, and this, that, and the third. To have that role, to have that title, what duties are you fulfilling? Don't be sitting here talking about, oh, I have this title. That's why everybody got fucked up salaries. Oh, I'm the engineer of this and I'm the communications, and you getting paid 23. Get out of here with that title shit.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point. Me personally, it would be a really hard conversation for me to have because I would feel bad.
So would you have it though? Because I also know you. If you don't have it, you're gonna complain about that shit forever, and I'm not listening to it.
My advice.
Why won't you answer the question?
My advice is to talk to my best friend before you.
So if they didn't talk to your best friend, what are you going to do, ma'am?
I mean, I guess the conversation would have to be had, but it would be very difficult for me because I don't look at white diamonds. I mean, I was much younger, but yes. I kept the white diamonds. Granted, it stayed in the back of my closet,
right?
But I did ask questions. I was like, did you smell this first before you bought it?
And that's just passive aggressive and shady. Just say you don't like it.
It was.
And we're adults. Like, that's the thing. Like, why is it so difficult? And maybe this is an episode to have adult conversations. And maybe this is why people think I'm mean. People think I'm rude.
People think I'm mean too. Because but I don't like hurting people's feelings.
I don't give a fuck about your feelings. I'm talking about facts. Feelings are fleeting. I'm sad 1 minute. I go through 60 moods in 60 seconds. Like, it doesn't matter. Feelings are very real. They are valid. That's why we have to honor them and talk about them, because they're going to change. And guess what? If you allow your feelings to dictate your actions, that's how regret happens. Because you look like a fucking asshole later, and then you want to come back and talk about sorry when the only apology is changed behavior.
True. So yes, I mean, I would have to have the conversation. It's difficult as right. Because I've been on the receiving end too, like of a conversation that like, you know, I got someone something and they didn't like it. I'm like, damn, like I thought that you would. Right. It does hurt.
Right.
Like, it definitely hurts.
It hurts, but then you also have to think about it. Like, I love, and as cliche as it is, it's the thought that counts, right? Because, and knowing that though, like, I've gotten gifts that I haven't liked, and for me personally, I'm not a gifts person. Like, what I love for gifts is quality time. But let's be clear.
But did you say that gifts, you didn't like the gift?
No, and the gifts that I don't like, and those have usually come from like family members and things of that nature. One, I'm quick to repurpose something. So if I don't like it, I'll actually tear your whole shit apart and make it into something else, because I'm also very sentimental. So for me, like the saying, it's the thought that counts, that really does mean a lot to me.
And sometimes I feel that way too. I'm like, okay, it's the thought that counts.
I don't even have to like it. But with that, we're talking about something on a larger scale.
In the case of white diamonds, that's unacceptable.
No, and that was your birthday.
That was not the thought that
and
counts.
Things of that nature. And then like also, again, it goes back to the role, right? If I'm in a relationship with someone, and like my birthday is a big deal to me. Like anybody who's in a relationship with me, my birthday is a big deal. Even if you cannot physically celebrate it, like that's fine. But no, I'm going balls to the walls and honoring myself. So either you're here or you're not. And if you're not there, we're gonna have a problem after I'm done celebrating. Yeah.
I'm big on my birthday.
Yeah, and so with that being said, yes, that is a conversation, because I'm not about to be mad. I'm not about to be holding this in, as we were talking about expectations earlier. People, we put expectations on people. People don't even know those expectations exist. So how are they supposed to know? We literally have to tell them. Remember your whole housewarming thing?
I do.
And so, like, again, and I think it's a result of us being taught to, like, especially as women, oh, be seen and not heard, and don't make too much noise, and, you know, being told by specifically, like, men and boys since we were little girls, like, oh, don't be complaining, don't do this, don't do that. Like, people should I really encourage this listener to really sit and figure out, like, where this guilt is situated in not wanting to say
it could be that
oh, I don't want to wear this on my finger. It's your body. That doesn't make sense to me.
I think she's just kind of feeling bad at the fact that, like, you know, he probably put a lot of effort into it, and time obviously goes into, like, that and the proposal just for you to seem ungrateful.
Right. And so the thing about it is, anybody who knows your character, like, to seem ungrateful, again, I just think ego, because, like, if you got me something, right? Or if you got me something and I came to you and was like, yo, actually, like, I'm not really feeling this, I can understand. Immediately, you could have feelings that I'd be ungrateful, right? But once you sat with it and got out of your feelings, you know that I'm not a person who is ungrateful about anything, right? And so that's where we also have to check our egos and really look at, like, yes, we're having this feeling, but who are we having this feeling towards? Because why are you getting ready to marry this person if you felt like, oh, they would view you as somebody that's ungrateful? Because then, yo, if you view me as ungrateful, why are you choosing to spend the rest of your life with me? We really have to ask ourselves these questions, because the false narratives that we be making up, they're just that. They are false. They are fake. And if you sit there and question them back and forth, you realize that none of that shit makes sense. But we can think ourselves into oblivion.
True, which I tend to do sometimes.
Right, and that's anxiety, and that's a whole different thing, and we talked about that plenty of times on this episode. But I digress. That's my 2 cents on the whole thing.
I mean, that low-key sounded like a pep talk to me.
Well, yeah. You know, let's go into it.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect segue.
Let's wrap up and have our pep talk.
Perfect segue into the pep talk. Like, just get out of your own way. And the false narratives, honor how you feel. I think especially as we get towards these elections, we're getting towards the end of the year. Mercury retrograde is tomorrow. When y'all hear this, we'll already be over a week into the retrograde. But, like, and Mars is in retrograde, which rules our anger and our passion and our convictions and things of that nature.
I think that's my planet.
It probably is. Oh, because Aries. Mm-hmm. Yes, I think it is too. And so that being said, like, it's very easy for us to flare up and get upset and be triggered and things of that nature. But please understand that shit is your own. And so nobody can make you feel, oh, this person made me mad, or, nah, what is it connected to? What's the source of that? Like, I'm, as a person who is easily frustrated and irritable, like, all the time, I'm constantly in a state of checking myself, and that is a lot of work. But that's because, like, I know my trauma, and I know I have some debris and residue that I need to get rid of, but I'm not putting that shit onto anybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even, like, for me most recently, like, in, like, coming out of a relationship for so long and then, like, sticking my toe into, like, the possibility of being in a relationship, like, people will call and be like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, what do you want? But that's my shit. I'm not gonna sit there and use that person as a scapegoat.
No, but you should ask that, because like niggas just like wasting your time. So what do you want?
Right.
What do you want?
But we also, as easy as it is to say, oh, niggas like wasting your time.
And that is general term.
Yes, and I know you're saying that generally. But again, we also allow niggas to waste our time.
Facts. You're right.
It's like, take responsibility, and that's the whole point of this pep talk. Really take responsibility, take accountability for what it is that you are putting out in the universe, because you cannot be mad when it comes back to you.
No, you're right.
That's it. That's my pep talk.
All right.
That
was great.
Yes, you do this.
So, this is your second week seeing our melanated faces.
Yes, or second time by the time you see this.
Yeah.
Because,
you know what I meant.
Yeah. Wait, and I don't think we made it clear on the last episode about, like, the new format. Not that I can remember, but so just in case, So every other week, y'all will get a visual.
Yep.
So by the time y'all see this, you would have heard the audio from our first episode, and then you'll see that you'll get the audio for this the week after this drops. And if you don't understand that, just keep tuning in and you'll eventually catch the pattern of behavior.
We hope you do.
So, yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in and rocking with us. Shout out to Man of Real, because I already know that this is going to be amazing. We're on this amazing set. Like, just, you know.
Super cute.
Just fabulous. Basking in all of our glory.
Yeah. And
getting what we deserve. So
yes. Collecting all our things.
Yes. Getting back from the universe what we gave it. So yes. Catch us on IG.
Yep.
Pep Talks, the letter N, Fufu. You want to say your IG because we didn't say it the last time?
MIZFUFU.
Perpetual Anastasia, PERPETUALANASTASIA. No, I'm not changing it. And yeah, if you want to shoot us any questions or anything like that for Excuse Me, Miss Fufu, or any topics you want us to talk about, it is pepnfufu@gmail.com. We will see y'all later.
Bye.
Later.
Woo! Christopher.
He's not going to do it, and that's why I'm just silent.
He's so annoying.
I'm not giving in. I'm not putting my energy into it. I'm going to drink water and mind my business.
How long was that?
41 minutes.
Woo! We did it. So you're gonna keep it still running?
You're annoying.
Okay.
You're annoying.
Cause I saw your grimace, but now I know you're lying.
Topher!
What do you mean?
You're lying.
I'm going through the video right now.
You're just now pressing the buttons. He's lying.
You're such a liar.
Exactly.
It's still recording.
Lying ass.
All niggas do is lie.
Stop.